Hello, water signs, and welcome to your full moon in Leo, February 8th, 2020 reading. Astro Oracle reading for the water signs collective. That is Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. If you'd like a sign specific reading, you can donate any amount you want and get the extended reading on Vimeo. Get it to your inbox. You'll get all of them for all of the signs. And if you're one of my clients, then you should get an email from me with all of them this week. And if not, send me a DM or a message and I will send them to you. All right, that goes for current and past clients. So this is the Leo full moon. If you haven't watched the Leo intro, go watch that video. It's pretty short. It tells you about this season in general, and then the 5 questions that I'm going to go through. But before that, I want to talk about the fact that it's currently the full moon time. The moon is completely bright. I'm up late recording this for you because I know you water signs are in tune with the moon, and I wanted to do it at the time of the peak of the moon. And I wanted to write out the things that I'm releasing and burn them because it's a Leo like fire sign full moon. So I wanted to do a burning ritual. And I'd been collecting all these papers and these symbolisms that I wanted to burn over the last month or so into a big bowl. And it like literally caught on fire. And I was trying to put it out with a mason jar and it was not going out. And I was opening the window and the flame just got bigger in this bowl. And I got super overwhelmed. And I had to pour like my tea over it, and then that completely squashed the flame. So I really I take that as and this was right before I recorded this reading. So I want to take that as as a warning that when you play with fire, you can get burned, and it's very serious. And the way to temper it is with liquid, is with water. So knowing that with this intense like Leo full moon energy, that's like full on, it's fixed, it wants you to go, it wants you to create. You have to temper it with your waters, with your emotions, with your cooling. We need both, right? We can't just have intense fire. And as we're going into Pisces season and then retrograde, it's going to be a beautiful time to connect to your inner self, to retreat, to take care, right? And to not have to be constantly in go, go, go action fire mode, because that can burn you. It can cause a lot of havoc and pain in your life. So just wanted to, and also fire safety when you're doing moon rituals, like please take care. Like luckily I had fire safe bowl and I kept it contained, but that could have gone bad pretty quickly. So keep water around, or do it in a water safe bowl, like in a water bowl, throw it in, etc. Be safe. All right, so let's get into your reading. So the first thing, water signs, is what is being illuminated right now about your leadership and pride. And I think that metaphor has a lot to do with it. So I'm going to pull an everyday tarot card to speak to that. What is being illuminated about your leadership and pride? It was pretty scary too. Like I needed to calm down my nervous system and be like, oh wow, I need to take care of myself right now. So it's the same message that I'm giving to you, water signs. Like it's okay for you to care for yourself and not be so intense in this moment. Yeah. So it's the death card, transitions, rebirth, letting things die, right? Letting them burn away and become something else. So what is being illuminated about your pride and your leadership is that there have been massive things that you have given birth to and also things that have died off. Like, is there a part of you that you feel like is gone or is dead and is, has been completely transformed, and your leadership has been transformed, and it's showing you that. It's showing you that maybe what you intended, or originally the role you thought you were going to play in the starring role of your life, is like different than the one that you're playing, and that's beautiful. This is a sign of like massive transitions, right? Like this is very Scorpio energy, this particular card. So it's really even showing that your leadership and your pride is transformed and transmuted through understanding that transformation is your gift, right? Being able to shift forms as a water sign, being able to shift from water to gas to liquid to solid ice is your superpower. No other element can do that, right? So that is the power of your leadership, is that you can have flow, you can have consistency, you can be compassionate, and you can have like high pressure, right? Like the waves can be soft and soothing, and they can be intense and rocking, right? So just know that like all aspects of you are allowed and all aspects of you are needed. And especially wanting to speak to like flowing with the tides, flowing with the moon changes, right? So like letting yourself edge away, release, right? As we go through the third quarter moon and then enter that Pisces season, And the retrograde season, like, let things fall away that don't serve you. Let yourself, like, let the shame fall away from maybe what you created or what you didn't create, whatever the results were. Let them be what they were. Let go of judgment, resentment of yourself. Like, even if you set fire to a bowl, right? Like, let it go. Forgive yourself. Forgiveness is a way to transform things. It's a way to create miracles. And give yourself the gift of transformation. I'm going to read just a little bit more about that card because I want to know exactly what she wants to say about its message. You are going through a powerful change. There are parts of your life that are falling away and disintegrating, making way for new opportunities to emerge. So it's all about new opportunities, right? So, like, the things that you thought you were going to build, or the people you thought you might do it with, are like falling away so that you can have new opportunities, new relationships, and just trust that transformation, trust that churning of the oceans, the turning of the tides, if you will. Lots of like transformational energy happening for you. Where have you been performing? So where have you been performing in life in terms of like creating action? And also, where have you been kind of fooling yourself and you're kind of performing and you're putting on a mask, right? So we want to illuminate this and release it so that we can be in flow and being authentic with ourselves, water signs. So, and again, this is relevant to your sun, moon, rising, and north node. So if any of those signs in your chart are relevant to a water sign, this is relevant to you. Please go check it out. It's so helpful to know your deep astrology. It's like deep, deep self-understanding that you were born with, right? It's not a conceived of psychology test, and those are also great. But this is like an ancient system of metaphor. It's in the stars, it's in the constellations, it's in our solar system. So go check that out. So where have you been performing? Sophia, divine wisdom. This is so interesting. Okay, so Sophia, divine wisdom, she's like a very ancient goddess of wisdom, right? And your performance has been around like I want to say your charade or masquerade of wisdom. Like, where have you been providing wisdom when you haven't been taking it in for yourself? Like, are you performing it for others almost as a show or to show off that you're like, you somehow have an understanding that you have not yet embodied? Right? And wisdom is embodied knowledge. Like, it's like you've lived through it, you've experienced it, and then you can speak from wisdom. So where you've been performing is there's been a bit of like, maybe a bit of disharmony, disintegrity between like what you say to people and what you are inside. Or it could be that what you haven't been like showing the world is like your deep wisdom. Like, maybe you think that you're not wise enough to let that out, and like trusting yourself, trusting your life experiences, trusting what comes out of your mouth is perfect. Feeling like, okay, this is what the message is. I'm trying to get to the message. And it's the combination of the two. It's feeling like where you've been performing is like wisdom looks perfect, or it has to sound perfect or look a certain way, or be this many Instagram posts or that many YouTube videos, or that this type of way of relating with your partner or your parents or your people or your team. But really, wisdom is whatever comes out of your mouth, because wisdom is inherent in your being. It's in your cells, it's in your experience, and it's in you. Water signs, like water signs are psychic, tuned in flow with the earth. You are the wisdom of water, like the moving, ever-changing flow of life. So trust yourself to not perform. Don't try to be rigid. Don't try to be controlled. Let yourself flow. Let yourself be, kind of like an improv class where it's just going to come out of you and it'll be whatever it is, and you get to discover it, right? You get to be surprised by your own wisdom. Like, the performance is like, don't try to sound wise. Just let yourself be who you are, and that will be a beautiful expression, and it'll serve you and others. Like, it's kind of like, listen to yourself and listen to the things that you say to others, and don't try to like make it sound perfect, right? Does that resonate for you? Because you're deeply transforming. You've had so much transformation and so much transition and so much experience with death. Like, water signs are able to be with like all of the aspects of life, and the grief process is part of that. And deep, deep wisdom comes from understanding the cycles of life and death, right? So give that out to the world, give that to yourself, give that deep level of like internal harmony with humanity and its cycles, like the cycles of winter to summer, that is a cycle of death, like all of it. Just let yourself flow with it. I'm doing it right now, just completely trusting that whatever I say is what you need to hear, right? And I could be questioning myself, because I mean, like, that really freaked me out lighting that bowl on fire. But at the same time, I'm like, there's wisdom here, and this happened for a reason, to teach me something and to teach you something. So please take away from it what you will, and let me know in the comments below what you're getting from this. All right, third question. What advice do you need to be courageous? What advice do you need to be courageous, to boldly let this transformation in your own leadership and your own shining to happen, right? Those Leo's qualities. So I'm going to pull an animal card for this. What advice do you need to be courageous? Courageous water signs. Oof. Okay. All right, let's see what's going down. So snake spirit, time to heal. 55. So this is all about learning. And again, snakes, the cycles of life, they shed their skin. What the snake eating its tail, Ouroboros, is like the infinity of life. Like it's like constantly new, constantly renewed. So it's also knowing that like healing, like your time that you take to heal is what will give you courage. Like giving yourself space to integrate, heal, cry, process, write, talk, get therapy, be in nature, move your body, whatever it is what's going to give you courage, right? Because from healing, from internal, like when you feel renewed, when you feel at peace with the cycles of life and within you, then you get to courageously go forward, right? Because you've seen it. You've been through, like, healing makes you go deeply into your pain and back out on the other side transformed. Who doesn't feel courageous after that? Like, healing in and of itself is a deeply courageous act. Acknowledge yourself for all the healing that you've already done, all those cycles that you've already had, all those dark nights of the soul, the times that you've questioned yourself, the times that you've changed states and not known if you were in the right place, in the right space, if you should have been liquid when you were solid and solid when you were gas. And just like let yourself deeply, deeply trust and know that courage comes from your willingness to even heal, your willingness to even go into that pain, to transmute it, to transform it, to think that that's possible, and to give it to other people as a possibility. That is courage. So you already have it within you. Knowing when it's time for you to heal, that's courageous in and of itself. Taking that time out for yourself is beautiful, whether it's an hour a day or a whole week or month or year off, or whatever it might be. It is courageous for you to deep dive. It is courageous for you to feel what you feel. It is courageous for you to heal. My beautiful water signs, I love you. What does your heart want you to boldly create, right? So we're moving into some action. What does your heart want you to boldly create, my beautiful water signs? Let's pull the goddess card for this, because goddesses all represent divine creativity. What does your heart boldly want you to create? Oh, interesting. Okay, so I got Maya, illusion. She just looks so innocent. Like, does your heart want you to create illusion? No, it's like your heart wants you to create like beyond illusion, like something that is true, right? Something that cannot have illusion around it, something that you cannot be delusional about, something that is so true and real in your heart that it is literally beyond illusion. Like you create something and not even illusion can distort it, because it is just so rock solid in who you are and who you're meant to be in the world and what it is that you're creating, right? So there's no illusion around it. Like it's you know, the difference of like creating something and people are like, oh, she's kind of delusional, or like she's a little naive, and maybe they think that, or maybe you think that about yourself, compared to like creating something where like that makes perfect sense, that's completely in alignment, yes, 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 like it just makes clicks, yep, done, do that. All right, last question. Anything else you need to release so your inner fire can shine, the sun of you can shine forward? And I'm going to pull an everyday tarot card. Anything else you need to release so your inner fire can shine? You can be the bright, shining, beautiful water sign that you are. Okay, the Three of Wands in the reverse. So what you need to release is like this, like always looking to the future, always looking to like the next voyage. Like you just literally get to be here right now. You get to be proud of yourself right now. What you need to release is how the past went, how your past ventures went, like any shame you might have around it, any guilt, judgments, etc. Like release that, like shed that skin, take the wisdom from it and move forward so that you can create without illusion. Don't let yourself be deluded by the daydreams and the nostalgia of the past, right? Like be with the facts and the wisdom of it, and then move forward and create boldly from your heart something that's true, something that heals you and heals others, right? It is your truth, right? Create from the truth of you and the truth of your transformation. This has been your reading, Scorpio. I love you so much. If you'd like that extended, donate anything you want to get access to it. Send you all of my love. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Satnam.